Welcome, everyone, to the Ted and Teach Show. I'm Ted.
I'm Teach.
And we're a local MMA podcast talking to you about North Dakota fighters. And today we're going to be talking to you about the event coming up this next Saturday, North Star Combat, February 20th at the
Skydancer Casino in Belcourt, North Dakota.
Yep. And we're going to be talking today about some fighters that are going to be on the main card. I'm going to tell you about some of the amateur fights, some of the fighters that are coming up. So
this show has a mixture between pro and amateur, which is really something that we personally haven't experienced yet.
Yep.
Yeah, because outside the reservations, there is no amateur, from what I understand.
Yeah, and some of these guys, we're gonna tell you that. I mean, they got a lot of amateur fights too. I was kind of surprised that, but we'll have to tell you about them when we get to them and stuff. We're going to go down the card here and read you off what we have.
We'll start off with the pro fights. This is the main event. Marshall Martin versus Derek Getzel. Marshall's 23-15. Getzel is 8-4. And they'll be fighting at 160 pounds.
Yep. Next, we have Shannon Gunville. She's 2-2 against Brandis LaFormbus. She's 0-1, and they're fighting at 125.
And then we have Cody Lincoln versus Trey Frederick. Cody is 3-0. Frederick is 2-1, and they're fighting at 170.
Next up, we got Tyler Matheson. He's at 145. Pro debut, it says. We'll talk about that later. Versus John Lavelli. Pro debut also at 145.
And then we have Garrett St. Clair versus Josh Holtz. They're both pro debuts, and they'll fight at 170.
Now we're down to our amateur fights, and I believe we have 7 of them. And we're going to be talking to you about Eugene Trotter versus Ethan Namilia.
Amelia, hey, that's pretty good.
First time.
Derek Henke versus Dylan Swain.
Charles DeSorlis versus Andres Murray.
Sergius Bryan versus J.S. Hunter.
Zane Miller versus Anthony Lafrette.
And Jason Natal versus Mason Shu.
Katie Cohen versus Katie Shepard Andlen.
And we're still a week out, so all these can change.
Yep.
It's happened to us before. Well, we're going to go back up and talk about the main event first. Marshall Martin versus Derek Getzel. These two guys, from what I could see on the videos that we've watched on them, is both of them are excellent ground fighters. Both got really good jiu-jitsu going on.
Yep. Yeah, going over some of their tapes and stuff. We all know Marshall. If you don't know, Marshall is a North Dakota fighter, and he was just coming off a win.
Yep, just got done beating Chris Hugh.
Yep.
Back in, January?
Yep. And Derek is coming off of a win himself. I think he TKO'd Billy Christensen.
Yep.
So, both of these guys are going to be a good matchup. I think, like you said, both love to roll around. I think they both have some boxing skills too. We've seen a couple of highlight reels of Derek where he knows, somewhat of how to strike and box.
Yeah, and Marshall, throughout the years, he's really picked up his boxing also.
Yep.
He doesn't solely rely on it, but he does have it up to where he can use it when it's needed. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. He can do it all, ground, stand with you. So, and what we've seen with Derek, he kind of fits that same profile too.
Yeah,
it looks like he wants to go to the ground, but
they're very, very similar fighters. I mean, this is going to be a chess match between these two.
We thought this was going to be a really good match for both fighters, and we got some highlights to show you about it. So, we'll let you see for yourself, and then we'll talk about how they both kind of have their pros and their cons.
Yep. Our highlights will start out with Marshall Martin, from Fargo, North Dakota.
Yep.
I'm assuming most people that watch the show know who Marshall Martin is.
Yeah, we got Marshall here in the black trunks and his opponent in the red.
Yeah, Marshall, you know, both of us know who Marshall is, and he's really silent. He carries a big stick.
Yeah, quiet guy, nice guy.
Once he hits that cage, he's very aggressive. He's going to need to be aggressive against Derek, that's for sure. Yeah, this fight here is from like 7 years ago. I mean, Marshall has improved considerably since then.
And he knows exactly how, to get by on the ground. I mean, he's always looked to me like he's got great ground game.
Yeah, this guy he's fighting here on that video, he was actually a ground fighter also.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about Marshall is when he's in there, he stays relatively busy the whole time.
Yep. And we probably, we're not saying a whole lot because we've seen Marshall fight so much. We know exactly, how he does it. He just goes after the guys. He gets them down. And, if you want to stand up too, he'll do it. He's got the power in his hands to put you out.
And on this video, I want to show you that, even though he's fighting another ground fighter, I mean, he's pretty good. He knows how to slip around on the ground really easy.
Yep. Marshall is 34 years old. He's at 5'10". Good boxer, good ground. 4-fight win streak is, I think, what I saw.
Is that what he's on?
Yep, 4-fight win streak.
He does throw big once in a while. But yeah,
this was a good match for him.
7 years ago, he did the takedown right away. Just went into it right away. Now you can see how he's evolved into going from stand-up to the ground. Yeah,
Marshall's in the gray kind of white shorts, and I believe his opponent was Sam Garrett in the red. And I think Sam gave him a really good match in this one. I mean,
yeah, Sam's a very good wrestler.
He kept the pressure on Marshall, and Marshall battled him, as best you can. When wrestlers are hard, they got good cardio, and they push you. Push you. What we know about Derek is he's from Minnesota, so he's around some of the same probably pedigree as what we see, Marshall and everything.
And one thing about Minnesota fighters, a lot of those guys end up in the bigger events.
Yeah,
a lot of them end up in the UFC.
Well, I noticed that I've seen a lot of them with boxing. They start with either boxing. I haven't seen too many of the fighters. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen too many Minnesota with wrestling. I mean, it's North Dakota, I think, that does more wrestling than anybody. I could be wrong, though. Don't quote me. That's all I ever see is a wrestler from North Dakota.
Yeah. Here, I just want this cut of the video, this highlight here is mainly just showing that how busy Marshall stays the whole time he's fighting.
Yeah. He keeps moving. He keeps trying to get out of it. He can hit you from the ground.
Yeah. He's constantly busy.
Here, I both guys looked exhausted. They were.
Yeah, this is definitely later in the round.
Yeah, they were just grinding it out.
Pretty sure this is third round. So.
Yep.
And the control that Marshall has once he's on top is really awesome. And wrestlers they are tough to keep down. Very strong, constant cardio.
And again, Marshall does really good at, he's constantly working with Sam.
And as you can see, he's so busy that Sam has a hard time even getting strikes started.
Yeah.
You can see Marshall, he's constantly striking.
Beating on those kids. He's pretty good.
And Garrett, he barely throws anything.
Yeah.
And through, even Marshall's last fight, it was the same thing. I mean, Chris Hugh couldn't get anything going because of how active Marshall is.
Yeah, he kept on him.
So that was the highlight for Marshall.
Yep.
And then our next highlight will be for Derek Getzel. Derek Getzel.
Derek is a tall fighter. He's at 6 foot. They have him. 28 years old. Saw a couple of his films. Went through. Looked like he had a couple of problems in the beginning with some fighters on the ground, but he likes to go to the ground, like you said, Teach. And then we do have this one where I think he shows his boxing on this one.
Yeah, on this one you can see he has a lot of movement in his stand up, keeping the guy guessing. But once he clinches, he stays active also. Comes with knees, elbows, bam. The guy stays busy too. I'm telling you, the two of these two fighters are so very similar that this is just going to be nothing but a chess match between the two of them. I can't see one overwhelming the other.
Yeah.
And here he's showing off his ground skills. Guarantee he won't be able to get Marshall that easy.
He's got those long legs. I mean, that's God, that's so hard for some people. They got able to just slip it over you. It doesn't matter.
That there, we didn't show the end of that fight, but yeah, he put that guy to sleep with that triangle choke and the strikes to the face, I guess.
Yeah. This is the one I was telling you about, Teach. He does really good in this fight it's Kuros Fedor. And Kuros is the one with black and red, and Derek is in the black and white. And he does really good at keeping Kuros on the cage. He controls him. I think Kuros was, I think, a Brazilian or wrestler. He does really good at.
This fight here was actually for Strikeforce. It was shown on Showtime. And
he did really good in this fight. I mean, it once you see Kuros gets him to the ground, things kind of change, and this I think was early on.
Yeah, this you can see how well his clinch game is. I mean, he's keeping this tight up against the cage.
Yeah, not getting hit, not leaving anything exposed.
And he has just quick short strikes.
Yeah, good elbow there.
Yep. Marshall's gonna have to watch out for this kind of fighting. I haven't really seen Marshall do a whole lot of clinch game fighting. And as you can see, it looks like Derek's very comfortable in that.
Yep.
And it could have been who he is fighting, Maybe the other guy's stand-up was much better than his.
Mm-hmm.
His camp decided that a clinch game was probably the best choice.
Or his camp could have seen something that maybe nobody really, they let Carlos jump around, or Kuros, sorry. Let Kuros jump around and get a good rhythm started, because I always thought that was a good way of not letting them get get started.
Yeah, get their stand-up game going.
Yep.
Yeah. Thing is most Brazilian guys are ground fighters, so maybe the guy just has a lot of power in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Best way to avoid getting hit, stay close. Looks like the guy's really strong.
Yeah.
He uses a lot of his strength in his clinch game, but looks like he has the cardio to keep doing it too. Nice foot stomp.
I think we're coming up to part where Kuros does a good sweep on him.
Yep. It's coming up here. He'll get swept. It looks like it might be one of his weaknesses.
Still working it. So
this is what I'm expecting to see from him against Marshall.
You think he'll tie up?
Yeah, I think he's gonna. Yeah,
he did really good using his head there, pushing it into Kuros' face.
I did this long cut just for the fact that how long he is pushing that clinch game. But as you can see, it looks like he's starting to slowly, fade away. Once he gets his back to the cage, it looks like he's struggling now.
Right there.
Boom,
Good
nice
sweep. Nice sweep. Came up behind him, took his leg out, and then brought his weight over his leg. And that was the highlight we had for Derek. You don't get to see it, but as right after that, you just see Kuros puts the pressure on him, gets him in the Darce choke, and that was it. So I think from there, he probably was pretty mad about that one because he does look comfortable on the ground. One thing that I see fitting into Marshall's favor is that I always saw that Derek had a problem with takedowns. Looked like he had a problem with takedowns. Maybe he's improved it. Just from watching him with Jordan Parsons was one of his losses. The guy went all 3 rounds with them. He got him with takedowns. The guy looked like he was a wrestler. And also that he had boxing. So he really gave Derek problems in that.
In the stand-up and the takedown game.
But I will give Derek credit. He knew exactly how to get the right angle with his kicks. He would step off. He would hit Jordan in the stomach. It was really good. He was, making it, hit right in that same spot. But I think it was a little too late. He started to get into that later on in the rounds.
Yeah, that would actually be a good tactic against Marshall, is to use the step-off kicks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause Marshall, he's pretty much a straight-in fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll get in there. He'll bang. I mean, Marshall's tough. So if this guy thinks he's going to do a one-punch knockout on Marshall, he's in trouble.
I don't think Marshall will even give him a chance to counter. I think Marshall will try to...
Yeah, I think it's going to be a quick clinch game to a takedown. I think they're both going to try to get the other to the ground because truly their stand-up's almost identical, and they both really rely on jiu-jitsu.
Yep, I agree.
So we're going to move on to our next matchup, and that's Shannon Gunville. Right, Gunville?
Yep, Shannon Gunville versus Brandis Lafombus.
This is Lafombus.
We're sorry. I mean,
yeah, we're having a hard time with.
We're not good with last names or even first names. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing Shannon take on Brandis.
I think a lot of the viewers have seen Shannon fight when she fought Mariah.
Yep.
Perugia.
Yep, that was one of her losses.
Yeah, and this girl, I mean, she came out to fight Mariah, and she showed no fear.
She banged with her. I mean,
got in there and was just striking.
She was
trying to get the clinch, the takedown. I mean, she put it all on the line when she fought Mariah.
Yeah, she came out very explosive. She attacked right away. Shannon's at 5'3", and Brandis is at 5'5".
Yeah, I think Mariah on her loss to Mariah, I think it's just Mariah was too much of a bigger fighter. I mean, and plus Mariah comes in with phenomenal cardio.
Yeah.
So, you could see Shannon was starting to fade as the fight was going on. Hopefully she's improved her cardio. I mean, she could have probably went to a lower weight class too, but with ladies fighting, it's in this state. There's not a whole lot of people that they get to fight. I mean, they don't have, a lot of people in each weight class like the guys do.
Not a lot of people to come in and give them.
Yeah, so they kind of take whatever fight they can get their hands on, and it did look like Mariah was just the bigger, heavier fighter in that fight.
And just another note, they're both North Dakota fighters. We want to make it very clear we promote North Dakota
I'm pretty
fighters.
sure these two are from the same hometown, actually.
Well, I think they had Brandis listed as Grand Forks.
Yeah, I think she's from Belcourt, though.
Oh, is she originally? Yeah. So then she must have moved to Grand Forks. Yeah, and then, of course, like you said, Shannon is from Belcourt.
Yeah, she resides there. Another fight that we saw with Shannon, I mean, just like with Mariah, she came right out the gun swinging. So this is going to be a very exciting fight right off the bat. I mean, Shannon's not going to make it a boring fight at all.
No.
with Brandis, Shannon needs to watch out because Brandis is a good jiu-jitsu fighter. So I think for strategy for Brandis would be
don't go to the ground.
Get to the ground as quickly as possible. Don't stand there and try to bang. Get out of your element and bang with the girl that's what she wants.
I was thinking of Shannon. Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah, Shannon doesn't really want to get to the ground with Brandis. I think that'd be a big mistake.
Well, hopefully Shannon has worked on her ground game because she probably knows too that Mariah did a lot of times when Mariah was on her, she had her controlled. I didn't really see like Shannon seeing if she could sweep her or roll her.
Well, what I seen is there was a lot of spots that she tried to.
And she just couldn't with the power.
Yeah, with the strength and size of Mariah, she just couldn't get the sweep in there. So I think if somebody closer to her own weight class, yeah, I could see her getting off them sweeps. One thing is Mariah's not. She's a ground and pounder. She's really good at wrestling. She's not the big jiu-jitsu person. Where Brandis is going to come in here with her main focus as being jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
She won. I think it was the Fargo Open. I think it was. She ended up getting the gold in that just this past winter. I think it was. So. She knows what she's doing once she gets down there.
Yep.
Key for her would be get down there, get it on the ground,
get to your strength.
Shannon, avoid the ground as much as possible. Use your striking, use your aggression, and it's going to be a exciting fight from when that ref says fight. It's gonna be on.
Yeah, Brandis should be ready for her. Hopefully, if she saw already the tapes that we've seen on. Shannon.
Yeah. Next fight is Cody Lincoln versus Trey Frederick. We'll let Ted get to his page.
Sorry, I got notes written all down about you guys. I did my best to do research to try to give you guys the we don't have a lot on everybody. There's not a lot of film out there. It's really hard to see what you guys are doing or how you're improving when so many fights are not posted.
Right. Yeah, we only have so many videos we get to watch, get to see. So if you guys can get more videos out there for us, especially before your fights, we'll be more than happy to put highlights out for you.
Yep.
Cody, the video I seen, I think it was from 7 years ago. Is that the same one you seen?
Yeah, it was 2009.
Yeah.
2009 is when he fought all the 3-0 fights that we're going to talk about that he did. He did really great. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm assuming he's improved since 7 years ago.
Yep.
His stand-up was a little shaky looking, but his ground game looked like that's what his main focus was, his jiu-jitsu.
Yep. Yeah, I agree too, Teach. I saw the tapes on him, and he did really great too. Don't know why such a long layoff, but life usually changes for us depending on the situation. Yep. So maybe he got away, take care of his family or whatever.
Yeah, hopefully he's really been working on his stand-up because that was the main improvement that I seen he needed. Like I said, it was one fight really quick.
And he's local. North Dakota, Fargo is what we have him listed as. And just the tidbit, Teach, he last fought with you. They're on the same card.
Oh, did he?
In 2009.
That was a long time ago.
I know. I looked that up. I was like, oh, that'll be a good tidbit for you, Teach. And his opponent is going to be Trey Fredericks. Trey is from South Dakota. 5'9". They have him listed.
Hey, I like this guy. I can't wait to watch him fight. I mean, his fighting style's something I like to see. He uses punches and kicks. He's definitely a kicker. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, it looks like early on he did the ground and pound too with that win he had. He's 23 years old. He, South Dakota, so.
Yeah. One thing I did see in the video that I did watch is his kicks got nice and deep on the guy, but his punches seemed to stop at the surface.
Mm.
And I think that was the video I watched. That was his downfall in that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's 3-1. 3-1, so maybe. I mean, he's really young too. I mean, I'm not trying to say that the difference here. There's a big gap here. You got Cody at 35, and you got Frederick at 23. So you got the young young buck taking on the old buck.
Yep. Another thing I saw with Trey is he's pretty heavy on his feet. He's not fluid, so that could be an advantage to Cody. Cody seemed a little more fluid on his feet, but he just didn't look like he trusted his hands at the time. So hopefully that's all improved, and we'll have a really good fight out of these two.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope Cody does really good.
So our next one is Tyler Matheson versus John LaValle.
Sorry again for the names.
This Tyler Matheson, this guy, oh my gosh, this dude's one serious wrestler. He wrestled at St. Cloud State. And one thing, he got props by Brock Larson, saying this guy has some serious wrestling skills. And from watching the one video I did watch of him, this guy has some serious wrestling skills.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It was an amateur fight that for Shine MMA. It was an amateur title fight. He took it at 8 hours and won the fight. Took the belt.
Yeah, I did the same thing you did, Teach. I looked him up. From Nebraska is where Tyler resides, and he's got a good amateur record at 6-1. So if John's doing the same research we are, I mean, you got your hands full. He's 24 years old. He's been the CFX lightweight champion, is what they had him listed as. So I was kind of shocked, for John. John is 33, and it is his pro debut. There's no other fights out there that we found.
Yeah, not amateur or pro.
No.
So found nothing on him.
Yeah, we can say that he is from North Dakota, though. So we hope the best for John, because that's going to be a tough matchup. I don't know I don't know what John has. I mean, maybe John's got some Brazilian. Maybe he's got some boxing.
Hopefully he has some cardio, because he's going to need it.
He's going to need it, yeah. This kid has got a motor. He doesn't quit.
Yeah, Tyler, he definitely, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going into the later rounds, and he was still looked as fresh as he did at the first.
Yep. I saw a show on him. They were asking him how he got into it. I think he said his sophomore year, he just kind of got into fighting, and then they told him maybe take a break from doing fighting, but concerned with injuries, stick to your wrestling.
Yeah.
It turned out great for him, because I think as soon as he was done with college and stuff, he went into fighting.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have much to say about John, but maybe next time.
Good luck.
Our next fight is Garrett St. Clair versus Josh Holtz. Same thing with Garrett. We really can't find anything on him, so we don't really have much we can say about him. Josh Holtz, this guy looks like he's got some good jiu-jitsu going on.
Yeah, he comes from a great camp too, Teach. Just from the same people that we were talking about wrestling with. I think he called out Tony Martin as one of his his teammates. Brock Larson too as well. He's from Minnesota. It's listed as a pro debut, but he's had a couple of fights and he looked decent. I think he did come off of a knee injury. That's why he had a long layoff.
Yeah.
He messed up his knee. 23 years old. They have him listed at 6'1". He's good. He's got Brazilian. He's got boxing. Good fighter. We don't got a lot on Garrett. They have him listed as 19 years old, 6 foot, but there's nothing on him that we can tell you hey, is he going to give Josh a hard time?
Yeah. Garrett's stepping up to a big fight. Hopefully he understands what he's getting into.
And Josh is on a 2-fight win streak.
Yeah, Josh is going to bring it, plain and simple.
Yeah. All I can say to you, Garrett, too, is he's a North Dakota fighter, so good luck. And do us good. I mean, like I said, you never know. I mean, everybody's got their day. Could go either way,
He throws up, he lands
one haymaker,
plants it on someone's chin. They can all go out. So it doesn't, we're not saying that Josh is going to win this fight.
No.
We're saying
that Garrett's
we just
got
have
his
more
work.
information on Josh, and
Garrett's got his work cut out.
And with Garrett, if this is his actual first cage fight, it's going to be a tough one.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, Teach.
Now we're going to go into our amateur fights. We'll start with Eugene Trotter, or Trottier,
Yeah.
Versus Ethan Namila. There you go. They both have had an amateur fight. Not very many, right? I know one has 1-0.
Yep, that would be Ethan. Last time Ethan fought was in 2012, and I don't know what happened. I mean, he's come in at age 33 now. Maybe he's just wanting to get back in shape or get back into it. Eugene Trotter, he is 26 though, and he's got an amateur fight of 2-3.
2-3.
Coming off of a loss. Jamie Mudridge is what they have from Grand Forks. From what I saw, Eugene did really good. He looked also ground and pound. Likes to mix it up. It looked like he brawled and.
Yeah, it looked like the one that I seen. He's more comfortable with standing up than actually be, because he wasn't the one initiating the takedown. He seemed to be okay with just trying to do his boxing and kickboxing.
Yeah. Eugene, they didn't have the height for him. He is from Minnesota as well.
And Ethan, I don't know if you mentioned this, but he did win his fight TKO punches.
Yep.
So he's going to want to get the takedown and finish the guy on the ground.
And we tried to look for stuff on Ethan. I really tried to dig. All I could get was from Wadena. Maybe he had a brother or cousin or somebody fighting on the same card he did way back in 2012. They both KO'd, so maybe they both had a similar style.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a takedown, ground and pound style.
Yep.
Next one will be Derek Henke versus Dylan Swain. I couldn't find nothing on Henke. How about you?
No. Just that he's a North Dakota fighter, age 24, 5'6". It's gonna be his. Real amateur, because I couldn't find anything either, versus Dylan, who was 0-1 is what I found, Teach. His last loss was 10-30-15 to Jared Roletti.
Dylan got TKO'd in that fight. So I'm presuming that his jiu-jitsu game isn't quite there.
Also a North Dakota fighter, just to let you guys know. 2 North Dakota fighters fighting here. They had no height or anything for Dylan, so
So
could
I
be a
guess it'd
giant.
be best interest for Derek is to get Dylan down and do ground and pound.
Yeah, maybe Dylan wants to get that loss kind of erased from his memory and get a win going.
Our next one is Charles Desjarlais. We're back to chopping up your names. Versus Andres
Murray.
Andres Murray.
Yep.
He's 2-0. So this is 2 guys that haven't lost a fight yet.
Who do we have at 2-0, Teach?
Oh, I found Andrews 2-0.
Yeah, and we're gonna tell you guys right now. We're looking all over the web for what we could find as the best resource. I have Andres listed at 3-2.
Oh, okay.
3-2, age 35. He's 5'9". His last win was against Matt Joseph, 8-15.
So is Charles? Is he 1-0?
Charles, I think, is 1-0. Teach. Chucky, he's from Belcourt as well.
I think his win was by TKO.
Yep.
So I'm assuming again more of a ground and pound.
Yep. Harley Peltier, 12-28-13 is what I have. And just like you said, Teach, Charles looked like he ground and pounded. He was very aggressive. Took it to him and stuff. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, he could have been.
Andrews, Tapology has him as number 1 in South and North Dakota as an amateur at that weight class.
Really? Okay. Both North Dakota fighters, but it is considered his amateur. I guess Andres has been around, and I still don't know how that works. You got to explain that one to me again.
Well, they could be amateur all their lives, so if they want to, they just, until they decide they want to go to the next level. So
okay, and from what I saw from Andres, he likes to box. He had a little bit of trouble with wrestler. His loss was to Alex Wiggs Jr. and looks like he had some problems. Some takedowns, so it might even fit into Chucky's benefit.
Yep. Next one is Sergius Brian versus Jesse Hunter. I'm assuming you probably have some heights for him because I couldn't find nothing on these guys.
Yeah, these guys were true amateurs. There's not a whole lot out there. Sorry, won't take up too much. With Sergius is at 29 years of age, 5'9". Jesse is 28 years old, but he's at 6'2", so he's a big boy. Both North Dakota fighters.
Next one will be Zane Miller versus Anthony Lafferty. Ted hot to find his page.
Sorry. Zane Miller. Yep. Another true amateur going against Anthony Lafferty. Laffertier. I'm sorry. So many.
Chopping it up. We are chopping it up tonight.
Zane is also a North Dakota fighter, age 22, 6'1", and Anthony is.
Pretty sure these are both just true amateurs.
Yeah,
right?
there's nothing on them at all. Anthony is also a North Dakota fighter, age 22 at 6 foot. They did have him listed like he was going to be at Battle of the Lake, 11, 14, 15, but the card must have got changed.
Yeah, it looks like there was 3 previous fights and they all got canceled. So we'll move on to the next one. And again, we don't have much information on these guys either. I'm pretty sure that both of them are true debut amateurs. Jason Natal versus Mason Shue.
Yeah, not a whole lot again. Sorry, you guys. Amateur.
We both know Jason.
Yeah. Who knows Jason?
Jason, he's been training since he was like 14. I think he's 20 or 21 now. So, I mean, he's coming in as a first-time amateur, but he's going to have a lot of experience with the guys he trains with.
Okay, you got to remind me. I cannot remember Jason. Did we train with him once? Or?
Yep, he used to come down to the gym.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm getting up there. Jason's at 21, 5'10". Mason Shue is 19, 5'9". Both North Dakota fighters.
Jason, since we do know him, he's an aggressive fighter, has really good kicks. So hopefully Mason will be ready.
Yep.
I mean, he's got to come out with some skills because Jason's been training for a long time. Our next fight is Katie Koenig versus Caitlin Shepard Adelman.
Yep. Again, nothing on these guys.
We have Katie Koenig at 0-1. Tapology has her as number 27 in Minnesota. Her loss was a majority decision.
Oh, yeah, I had her at 0-1.
And then Caitlin Shepard Adelman, she's 1-1 from what I got. And Tapology has her as number 17 amateur in Minnesota.
Really? And see, that's what we're talking about. We can never find anything that's just true information. I mean, I had her as a North Dakota fighter, and listed.
Well, they could be North Dakota fighters. They just went over to Minnesota to fight as an amateur. That's all. Yeah,
it's not like it's across states. But yeah, they had her at 1-2 is what they had her as. But no videos. I couldn't find any videos on either fighters. Good luck to if Caitlin is our North Dakota fighter, because we do promote North Dakota fighters. So 5'4" is what they have Katie Cohen at, and Caitlin is at 5 foot.
Yeah, that's our list for fighters for the fight card. Just remember, this fight's for North Star Combat. They're fighting in Belcourt, North Dakota at the Sky Dancer Casino, February 20th, which is next Saturday. Doors open at 6.
Yep. Even though they have it listed on the web at 7, maybe they have the same problems we do. We can't get the right information down or get it to the right people.
Yeah.
But that's what we're here for. We're here to talk to you guys about.
Well, doors open at 6. Fights probably start at 7.
Oh yeah, that's true. Get your beer while you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even really tell you guys who we picked, but we're gonna tell you as fast as we can. I'm taking Marshall with his fight against Derek Gritzel.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Marshall also.
Yep, we're going with Marshall with Shannon and Brandis.
I'm gonna take Shannon.
I'm gonna take Shannon too because
She's
look like
aggressive.
she'll kill you.
Yeah,
She gets
she's
you.
hungry.
Yep. Don't get into a fight with her at the bar at the local pub.
The next one
Was the Tyler, I think, Teach Tyler Matheson and the John Lavelli.
I'm gonna go with Tyler on that one.
Yep. I'm going to go also with Tyler just because he has a ton of experience.
And then Cody Lincoln and Trey Frederick. Oof, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Trey. Trey Frederick. I like his stand up.
I'm going to go with Cody. He's North Dakota fighter. Plus, fighting at that age, I remember when I did it, and it's pretty tough. You're going to probably beat the crap out of him for a good couple of rounds. I hope to God you got your cardio ready, Cody, because, damn, it's hard fighting those younger fighters.
Yep. Then we have Garrett St. Clair versus Josh Holtz. I'm going to take Josh on this one.
I'm taking Josh as well. No, nothing against Garrett, even though he's another North Dakota fighter. But 19 years old, man, I mean, I don't know. You got to have something. something. Maybe he'll come out look like a tank. Who knows? But I think Josh has got the experience.
Well, with the amateur fights, I'm not really going to guess on them because I don't have enough information to make picks.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there too, Cheech. It's all up for grabs when you're just starting out. So we're going to give you guys, we will recap though on the next show. We will tell you who won and which one of us
should have some highlights for you, and we'll have a good show again.
Yeah, because we're going to be there. We're going to be out at North Star Combat.
If you see us, say hi.
What else do we got for them, Teach? We're going to be on our next show. We're going to be talking with Tyler Vogel.
It'll be the show after our post-fight show.
After the post-fight show. Sorry.
We'll talk to Tyler Vogel about his fight. Tyler's from Bismarck, in case nobody knows. And he's fighting for World Series of Fighting on the 29 on the March 12th. So tune in and let's see what Tyler has to say.
That's right, man. So remember, gloves up
and fight on.
Fight on.